the wrong guy. Maybe this, maybe that. But that parent stayed to take responsibility of that child while the other parent decided to say, fuck it. Excuse me, can I curse?
Well, we here now.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, brother. Okay. It's a classic situation though. But there are men who, or just parents in general, who choose to just walk away. So I think we should support these people. We need to support the people that feel like, you know what, you could do better. Let me show you how. Let me give you an option. One of the best things that's happening in 2025 right now is the mayor, I think, Baltimore, who has seen a significant decrease in violent crime within his city because he implemented options for the youth.
Somebody fact check
instead of being on the street or in their phone. That wasn't a coincidence. That's all is needed. Because and I'm speaking more so towards the youth because that needs to be the focus. Because an adult, they have to be the ones to do the work to change. You got to go in, you got to go within and do the work. But with the youth, we can offer them solutions now. We can offer them options now to say, hey, actually, yeah, this is a lane I could go down to, but this person also made it out this way. And they're giving me tangibles that I can follow to actually make it. And now I can learn and go back and teach. And I think it should be more of that. I think it should be more of that instead of the shaming. I don't know a time when shaming actually worked.
Back in the 70s and 90s, back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, when bullying at some point was healthy to a certain extent, when you looked at someone, a teenager who was pregnant, there was shaming that came along with it. When you did things that you weren't supposed to do that wasn't conducive for your life, shaming came with it. I don't know how many of you actually played sports coming up, but there were certain coaches who would shame you for doing certain shit. Put you on Front Street in front of the whole team. Mind you, if you was in the military, you see a lot of that. It builds character. It builds that callous. It builds that callous within. So yes, I do believe that shaming does work. Now, of course, we're not talking about extensive bullying where now it's just to the point of harassment, but a little form of bullying, a little bit of banter, sometimes when it's a true situation, yeah, I know how to empathize with you, but if it's from a self-inflicted wound, it's like, hey, my nigga, like, nah, you need to be held accountable for it, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull this mirror up, do this. Now look at it. That's you. That's you. You decided to do that, and this is what's going on. It's you. So yeah, I believe that shaming is healthy. 100%.
Because when you shame someone, it's like, I'm a change in front of you, but I'm still going to feel bad about myself, and I might take the same behavior and do it somewhere else where I'm not being shamed, instead of being supported and being shown a different way to behave. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. It's one of those interesting things where I do wonder in the past, let's just say historically in America, even in our own community as well as in various other countries, if shame that was there before, if it did work or did have some positive aspects to it, or do you only see shame as like strictly negative?
Both of them.
Well, shame is negative.
Meaning the effects of it.
Absolutely. If I am wrong, please enlighten me on a time where shame brought positive change to the masses or to anybody.
Yeah, I think there's different.
Jazz is very kind of Jazz knows what she's. I think Jazz really knows what she's doing. She has a very condescending tone. She really does. She has a condescending tone. I don't think Jazz is dumb. I just think that Jazz chooses to play dumb. She wants to be right. I think Jazz is toxic, bro. Real talk. And she only sees it from her perspective. she only sees things from her perspective. She won't open her eyes. She won't open her mind up. If she sees it this way, she gonna fight you tooth and nail for it, and she can be wrong as two left shoes.
And in this question I'm holding up here, I definitely want to touch on it so I don't forget it. In terms of, he says, I wonder what's the difference between holding someone accountable and pointing the finger. But back to the shame discussion, there's different varying degrees of how and what shame looks like. So as an example would be if you get incarcerated, right? When you get incarcerated, you're brought up on some crazy charges, your family's humiliated, it's costing them thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to fight your legal bills and all of that. There's a societal ripple effect that happens for a lot of other people around you when they, where regardless of their motivation for changing, them seeing such a degree of what can happen when they do the same thing, that is an aspect of responding to said shame that he's experiencing. When you kind of extrapolate that and use it in all the various ways in which, because I think what you're using and describing as shame is like the me and you social media shame, you know, like, oh, need to shame them. Like, I don't think that really leads towards anything at all. I do think that there is a normal corporal friendship, family dynamic of we don't want to bring shame to the people around us. And we don't want to do that in the lens of our actions and our behaviors and the consequences that comes from the ones when we do that. And I think that, you know, that's a part of our upbringing, is when you're raised a certain way, part of the reason for why you don't want to do something is because you don't want to fail yourself. You don't want to fail the people that you represent. You don't want to fail the people who raised you. And that comes with that little bit of aspect of shame. So it's kind of like tough love a little bit. I can see how it could be abused.
Ready to disagree.
I can see how it's violating. I can see how it doesn't work in many instances. And I would even wonder if the reason why our culture has gotten as bad is because we have no shame now.
That's a good point, Asker brother. That's a good point.
I don't know. I feel like when it comes to like, okay, like the short-term effects.
I feel like, there we go. I feel like, listen, one of the things about me, when I hear I feel like, I don't shut my ears off, but I'm just like, all right, so you only coming from a place of feeling. You're not giving me the logic behind it. You just coming from how you feel. And 9 times out of 10 that I feel as if you're giving me a should statement, not a what is statement. So
of shaming, like I said, like it can stop the behavior in the moment because people don't want to feel embarrassed or judged. You know, that's why, you know, socially it's like we're policing, you know, your behavior, you know, because we're uncomfortable with it. But long term, I feel like it doesn't create lasting change, right?
Where are you getting this shit from? Policing comes with a bit of shame. Policing comes with a bit of accountability. A little accountability comes with shame. It does. It happens that way. Now, what you then do after the shaming comes, and then if you give a solution behind not to put yourself in this position again, that's how you can then grow from it. One of the things I remember is coming up in college. I had one of these coaches. Out of pocket coaches. He would call you out at every breaking whim. If you did one thing wrong, you're done. It's just like if coaches create a curfew for you, right? So let's say you in college playing ball and your coach tells you, listen, your curfew is at 10:30. Do not leave this dorm after 10:30. But you want to be hard-headed. You think your shit don't stink. So you decide to leave after 10:30. And so now, after you leave after 10:30, guess what? Your coach then found out, because of course he got somebody who keeping eyes on y'all. He might have the little the person downstairs who's watching the front door, like the little security, whatever. He's gonna tell you who's coming in, and they understand who the basketball players are or the sports players are, and they gonna snitch. They gonna tell the coaches. Then when your ass come back, you thinking you done made it scot-free. You wake up in the morning, you get to practice. Come to find out, coach call you to the forefront and he say, hey, so What did I say when the season first started? Everybody in unison. You said no coming in, no leaving outside the room after 10:30. Right. Not leaving outside the room after 10:30. Correct. And what did I say was going to happen if you decide to leave out of the room at 10:30? You said there's going to be consequences and repercussions. Correct. So you were listening. So some people on this team decide that they can do what they want to. They think that they think they run this team. They think they are bigger than the team. And mind you, you standing, y'all was in the line. He didn't brought him to the front of everybody. One person decided that he can do what he want to do out here, right? Cool. Don't worry, we gonna fix that. Everybody to the baseline. Guess what? Everybody, not just him, everybody to the baseline. Because guess what? Everybody has to suffer because of some shit that you did. Guess what? Guess what that comes with? That comes with a little bit of embarrassment, a little bit of shame. Because now, because of your dumbass decision, everybody else is affected by it. And mind you, not only are you going to run, guess what else is going to happen? You're going to sit out a game. Because there's a lesson that needs to be taught. There are consequences behind your repercussions. So therefore, the lesson that you need to learn is that, okay, so if you decide to think that you can do what you want to do, you're going to run and you're going to make everybody else run, which then that's going to reflect on you because they're going to be pissed off at you. And then on top of that, not only are you going to run, you're going to sit out a game and think about the decision that you made. So in that, the lesson that was learned, which then can reflect on a positive side, meaning you going to pay attention, you going to abide by the rules and not leave your dorm after 10:30. We tracking? All right.
Usually makes people defensive, secretive, resentful, and it doesn't really motivate them to genuinely improve. So instead of learning, they're like hiding or doubling down. So that's why I'm like, why are we shaming someone instead of giving them ways to improve? When you mentioned like the incarceration, usually if you're being incarcerated, you made a choice to do something to put yourself in that position, right? So if anybody should be shaming you, it should be yourself because you decided to do something that has you incarcerated. You made a choice. You did a behavior that you knew would not only bring shame to yourself, but to your family. And you knew that by doing that action, the consequence, the type of shame that would carry. So that's something different than a woman who was with a man and they decided to both lay down together and everything seemed great. And she ends up pregnant and he decides to leave her. And instead of shaming the man who walks away, we're shaming the single mother who's taking the responsibility of that child if she decides to have it, whatever the case may be.
Yes, that's what typically happens because guess what? That nigga ain't nowhere to be found. He's gonna get held accountable regardless, right? But you then come back as that woman, you complain, you hoop and holler about how these niggas ain't deadbeats, but you chose that nigga. You chose him. So therefore, we gonna look for this nigga, but then at the end of the day, because y'all know how y'all like to use the phrase of, well, it takes two. And Jazz, you have used that before in the argument. Well, it takes two. It ain't just one person making the baby, it's two of y'all. Yes, you're right. It takes two of y'all. So while he being held accountable, one way or the other, whether through child support or he getting his ass go to jail, whatever the case may be, some way, somehow he getting held accountable. You, on the other hand, you having baby showers, everybody saying it's all right, Queen, you a great mom. You know, you don't need men out here. You know, you a super mom. All this extra shit that you getting. Ain't nobody told you nothing about you should have chosen better. You should have made a better decision. Stop fucking complaining. This is your responsibility. You decide to have that fucking kid, so therefore you gonna have to do what you gotta do. Stop bitching and complaining. Because not yet, because I still haven't heard her mention anything about holding the woman accountable. She keeps reverting back to the man. Now, again, the man needs to be held accountable too. I'm 50-50 with it. He needs to be held accountable, but she also needs to be held accountable too. They both need to be held accountable equally.
But shaming that single mother doesn't stop that child from being birthed, that she already has had the kid. So shaming her does what exactly? It's not supporting her. It's not helping that child. So that's why I'm like, what's the point if there is really no long-term positive effects that can happen? And with shaming, it like damages trust. People feel attacked, like in personal relationships. Like, when you're growing up, you may think your parents shaming you is them helping you to be better, but really it's just like, oh, I gotta act a certain type of way, or I gotta say a certain type of thing. But when I get outside, that's why a lot of those kids who are shamed, grow up in those really strict environments, they rebel, they lash out, they are very salty because they're not supported. They're being shamed and criticized and talked down on, and not being seen as a human being, just going through something different outside of what somebody wants them to act like.
Hey, how often do we hear the phrase deadbeat mom? Cause I know we hear deadbeat, because deadbeat kind of reflects shaming a man, calling him a deadbeat. For the actual deadbeats, not a lot of these women, they just call everybody deadbeat, when a lot of times a lot of these women, they just keep hold their kids back from seeing their fathers. They use their kid as a pawn to get what they want from the man type shit. So yeah, see, she don't want to mention none of that shit though. But hey, I'm gonna let it keep playing.
And some of the people, they kind of commented it too. One about, I guess, the term of deadbeat dad. There's a reason for why we use that term. It's definitely a pejorative. It's definitely not positive.
Earn 125,000 points and experience with Chase Sapphire Reserve.
Let's pause it. Take it off the screen, my dog.
What I'm speaking to is, and actually kind of what you're saying is, shame in and of itself isn't sufficient to actually get the desired change that we want to see in society. I do acknowledge that whether we're calling it shame, correction, constructive feedback, whatever people want to label this stuff as, if it comes from a place that can actually benefit and help people, I think it's necessary at this point. I do acknowledge our outcomes in like every area is functionally like worse. It just statistically speaking. So regardless of our anecdotal evidence that a lot of people are doing fairly well or okay, and they're not criminals, and that's true. As a group collectively, we are behind in like functionally everything, whether it's 2-parent households, income, you name it. Just it seems like we've definitely declined in some ways. And whether it's a combo of shame or corrective justice or positive reinforcement, whatever you want to frame it, there has to be something that acknowledges something's wrong. Something needs to change. And I agree with you that the attitude of those who kind of are behind the mics doesn't typically lead towards people being better. It's like
that's the only thing. Call it out. Call out the harmful behavior. Call it out. If you know someone that you love that is being harmful to themselves or to other people, and you know you can help that person, and you're coming from a place of love and respect, call it out. But shaming is, I'm better than you, you're bad, you should have did it like this, no one's gonna like you, you did that wrong, it's okay. And then after that, then what? As opposed to friend.
Why would they want to hear anything after that? Yeah.
Why would they even want to talk to you after that? They're gonna take that shame and internalize it, and then they walk away not becoming a better person. And all you did was just get your ego a little bit boosted because you felt because you didn't make those type of life choices.
Oh, she must be talking about Anton, huh? She must be trying to reference Anton when he be going in on her ass.
And you now have the right to shame others that may have done it. You can call it out, but also call it out with solution. Don't call it out just to call somebody out. Like, I don't like that. It's like, you know what? I don't like this because I can see this being harmful to you. Like, why don't we try work? Why don't we do it this way?
No.
Why don't you think about maybe trying something like this? Because, friend, when I'm seeing you doing this, I don't know. And then also make sure the critique and all this other stuff, make sure it's warranted. A lot of times I feel like people are shaming and critiquing people and then putting a sign over it saying, well, we're just trying to help. No, if they didn't necessarily.
You don't like the way that people talk to you. You don't like the tone. That's what it sounds like. So you tone policing. Well, don't say it like this. Say it like this. No, nigga. You gonna receive it the way that I say it. If I say it a certain way, you gonna receive it how you receive it. It is what it is, bro. Like, man, y'all better. Oh my gosh, bro.
Necessarily ask for the help. You're just trying to like tear people down. You know what I mean? That's not what that is. But
yeah,
tear you down to build you back up makes you stronger. Tear you down to build you back up. That's the military's motto. We tear you down to build you back up stronger. Yeah. So I'm not about to sit here and talk to you in a soft voice. I'm not, you know what, we should do it like this. Why don't we do this way? Because a lot of times too, a lot of it may not be warranted. But again, when you continue to keep complaining about certain things and you continue to keep trying to figure out what the issue is, when the conversations are had and people are trying to tell you with the soft voice, but it's not getting through. And then you then start to throw ad hominem attacks at certain people. And then that's the thing, you know, when that dog gets out of that cage and it bites back, then you want to say, well, why are you talking like that? Why are you being like this? I didn't do nothing. Start the gaslight. And that's what a lot of people do. So cool. If it ain't warranted, if you ain't asked for it, if you didn't provide the information, if you didn't provide the private information, you know, like a lot of people do, they get online and then they out themselves. They put a lot of information out there and then they get upset when people do reactions to them. They get upset when people talk about them and disagree with them, tell them how stupid they sound or whatever the case may be. You decided to put that information out there. So yes, it is warranted. If you decide to put it in public where everybody can see, it's warranted. You've warranted it. Regardless if you wanted the opinion or not, a lot of y'all posted to get views. You posted to get comments, to get engagement, to get the likes. So I don't want to hear that bullshit. You just mad because it was something that went against the shit that you said and you don't like it. Now you feeling some type of way. Nope.
I feel you on that. And I 100% agree with you that more has to come from just pointing out what they did wrong. That's obvious.
Yeah, day-to-day what they're doing, why their behavior is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
how do you think social media then has impacted the image of not only Black women collectively, but also you personally, in terms of how people see you, and in light of everything we're talking about? Like, how do you think social media specifically has kind of impacted both your image and the image of Black women?
Honestly, I thought about this. I feel like I impact social media. I don't feel like social media has impacted me in any way. What's happening is that I'm being myself, and there are a lot of people that don't like my delivery or personality, and they're picking me apart and making it seem I'm this crazy Black woman. Now, what is an issue is that a lot of times, because of my aesthetic, the assumption is I'm going to be loud, crazy, degenerate, belligerent, and all this and that. Now, don't get me wrong, I can get a little loud.
We will talk about that, but I can
get a little bit passionate. But I'm a human being, and but I don't lead with disrespect. I don't lead with like nonsense, you know. So sure, there are certain times that I'm on the defense, but a lot of times my clips are going viral because I'm being provoked by nonsense. I'm being called names because I'm pointing out systemic racism.
There's nobody provoking you. You decide to insert yourself in certain things. You say crazy shit. People react to it. That's the part of social media. If I were to say some crazy shit on here, and somebody decides to clip me up and say, this nigga here is out of pocket, this nigga here is crazy, this nigga's dumb. Oh, well. Be what it is. But to sit here and say that people just come at you, they provoke you. Whoo, boy, this conversation so disingenuous, Jazz. Oh my God.
Being harassed and called stupid because men want us to believe that their natural way is to cheat on their women, and I'm against that. And now I'm going viral for being dumb and not being real. It's just it's very silly. So I'm definitely making an impact on social media, and shout out to all the content creators that have definitely capitalized off my face in your
Ain't nobody making no money off you. You ain't that. Now see that. See, there go the ego. There go that slight narcissism. There it is. There go the slight narcissist. Hey, everybody making money off my face. Bitch, no. Your name ain't in the algorithm like that. Calm the fuck down. Calm the fuck down. Your name is not in the algorithm like that. When they type in Jazz, they views don't automatically go the fuck up. Cut it out. Cut the fuck. Chill the fuck out. You doing a little too much, shorty. You smelling yourself a little too much. Calm down. Just because you're getting some visibility, that don't necessarily mean you top dog. Pipe down, shorty.
Because I know that you have, but it
only the platforms that you claim to get a lot of views from are people who are already big names. Hence, Anton Daniels. The reason you are getting clipped because you are on somebody else's platform who is at 1 million subscribers, 1 million views. So it ain't because of you, Jazz, that this person's making a lot of money. It's because their platform already does that without you. So whether you're there or not, they're gonna make money. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Just like Ask a Brother, right? His views ain't go exponentially high just because you were on the platform. His shit was already doing numbers. What you talking about? That's what I'm saying. Nobody knew who Jazz was until she got on Anton Daniels. So nobody checking for you like that, shorty. And because you started to get some visibility, then you created your YouTube channel, which I believe is like at 200, like 200-300 subscribers right now. And that's all because you are on bigger people's platform. So cut it out, shorty. Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out.
It is what it is. Like I'm here to kind of change the narrative. I understand this is where we are now, and you can like it or love it. One thing about it, I'm being 100% authentic. There's nothing else that I can be. I'm not up here lying. I'm not up here trying to impress anybody. I'm not up here trying to get chose by the men in the audience because I'm often like, oh, she's everything we don't want, baby. In my real life, these are not problems that I have. You know what I mean? Like I don't have issues with men. I don't have these.
Okay, I don't think she's lying. Yeah, she got a channel, bro. I don't think she's lying about her getting attention from men. I just think that when she then begins to speak about certain topics, they then get turned off. Cause she's not an ugly girl. She's not. I'm not gonna sit here and cap. She ain't ugly at all. Not even close. But when she opened that mouth though, and she get to talking, instant. It's like, nah, we good. I'm like, nah, we good, big dog. I'm gonna let you ride. I'm gonna let you ride that way by yourself. You can down that hill by yourself because I'm not doing this with you. You know how much of a headache it'd be to talk to her, to be with her. I feel. You know how much of a headache. And maybe it might just be me. Because I'm not finna argue with you. If you my girl, I'm not gonna argue with you, bro. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. I'm not. I don't want to.
Really a new experience for me. The amount of negativity and hate, especially that I get from men, is crazy, which is also weird because I thought y'all were protectors, but it seems that the first thing to do with a woman that you don't agree with is to try to embarrass her or harm her or verbally accost her.
Nah, she was off for me.
Social media has definitely impacted me on that way.
See what I'm saying? See how stupid she sounds? You're trying to use that. Well, I thought men are supposed to be protected, so you're gonna protect the women. No, we can't hold y'all accountable. We can't hold you accountable. We can't shame you. We can't put you in your place. So how in the hell you expect us to protect you? How? If we can't hold you accountable, if we can't call you out on your bullshit, we can't shame you when you're doing wrong. How? When you don't respect the man, when you don't even respect the man enough to even listen to him when he's telling you something, because you always got pushback. When he's looking at it from a different perspective, because you only see it from a feminist mindset, and you're not looking at the bigger picture from where we see it, because as protectors, we see the bigger picture. You only see this one spectacle of a thing. We see the broader picture of what's going on. But you don't see that, though. You think it's cupcakes and ice cream out this bitch. Just how you could say, well, I believe that men can be friends with women. No. 9 times out of 10. Now, of course, nothing is absolute. But the probability of that man wanting to bust you down is extremely high versus him not wanting to, if you're friends with him. If you gave him the opportunity, he would. Men will tell you that. They're like, yeah, I doubt it. I doubt he just being there just to console you. Y'all just having conversation. You give the opportunity to him, regardless if you've already told him that you don't want nothing out of it. You just want to be friends. I guarantee you open the door open for him. Guarantee he coming through that motherfucker. She's lightweight cute. She could catch some beats if she minimized how much she speaks. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, she ain't ugly at all, bro. She's not. She ain't ugly at all. She talk too much. She talk way too much.
But I don't think it has tarnished my image. I'm still thriving. I'm still.
I'll say this though: if you get the visibility, get your bag, get your money. If you being on all these different platforms because you getting your name out there, get it, get your money. I'm not gonna hate. I'm not gonna tell you that you shouldn't be on podcasts. I'm not gonna tell you that you shouldn't have a mic. I'm not. Get your visibility out there. Get on everybody's podcast that you possibly can to get the visibility. Do your thing. Get to your bag, bro. I would never tell you not to. But that don't mean you absolve from criticism. That don't mean the shit that you say is right. That don't mean the shit that you say people won't critique and react to. It's part of it. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Singing and performing in and out of my city.
I'll stop right there because she talked about singing shit. Cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, Jazz be on one, bro. Jazz be on one. Sometimes I just can't take her serious. Nah, I'm good. She got it. I almost thought about getting her to try to come over to Banter and Barter show, but I'm like, I don't know, bro. I don't know, dog. I don't know, fam. I ain't gonna hold you. That'd be an epic show. That'd be an epic show. My goodness. But I don't think I got the wherewithal for it. I have a headache. I'm 100%. I would definitely have a headache that night. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell.